Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today is March 8th, 2022. It is day 13 of the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. And right now we're going to jump right into some battlefield updates, kind of what we're seeing on the ground in terms of the continued Russian operation. So first we're going to start within the area of Kiev. We continue to see large Russian forces to the west of the Dnieper River continuing to operate and quite possibly prepare for further rather significant operations both west and eventually possibly south of Kiev with the intent to encircle Kiev. We see right now to the west of the Dnieper River roughly 20 to 20 roughly 18 to 20 battalion tactical groups that are operating to the west of the, again, northwest of Kiev. These are the forces that you continue to hear about are in this column that extend from the Belarusian border all the way to the south. We believe that the leading efforts of these forces are being spearheaded by the 76th Airborne Division of the Russian VDV and other elements of Russian Spetsnaz forces as well. But general estimates right now, again, anywhere from 18 to 20 battalion tactical groups continue to prepare for further major combat operations. And again, they appear to be preparing to continue to encircle Kiev. We've continued to see this battlefield pause for possible logistics purposes, possible issues involving the Ukrainian adversary itself. So again, we're watching this very, very closely. And the Russians, at least, they do appear to be preparing for a further very large operation west of Kiev. We continue to see the Russians operate near Chernihiv and a continued advance towards the Kiev International Airport located in this area. We're continuing to see large mechanized activity and probing operations that are going on within the vicinity of Brovary. That's this locale right here, and we continue to see shelling and reconnaissance and force located to the east and northeast of the main Ukrainian international airport. And again, we don't have a force construct of what that looks like. Again, it appears to be moving towards the eastern bank of the Dnieper River with the intent to at some point meet up with the forces on the western portions of the Dnieper River to eventually seal off Kiev fully. Additionally, we're seeing probably the largest movement of Russian forces near Kharkiv. We continue to see up to 23 to 24 battalion tactical groups operating on the northwestern approaches to Kharkiv. And we estimate that at some point, once final preparations have been made, we will probably see a renewed Russian offensive that will both encircle Kharkiv and at the same time look to progress further south to meet up forces with the Russian forces that are operating out of the Crimea area. So again, the largest concentration of Russian forces in terms of preparatory activity, again, to the northwest of Kharkiv in this area. Again, 23, 24 battalion tactical groups operating in this area. And then obviously the continued, this column of forces that are west of the Dnieper River. And again, around 18 to 20 battalion tactical groups operating in this area, being led by the 76th Airborne Division. That is obviously not airborne, but they are operating for the most part as light infantry and motorized infantry units on the ground. I mean, we do see occasional helo assaults taking place in various parts of the country, and there's also two supporting airborne brigades also supporting, or elements of airborne brigades supporting the 76th Airborne Division as well. In the south, again, the leading elements of the Russian offensive again are those airborne units. We know the 7th Mountain Air Assault Division is predominantly operating in and around Crimea. Very aggressive formations that continue to see exploitation breakthroughs taking place at various points just north of Crimea. We continue to hear fighting taking place near Mykolaiv. We have heard that there was a reported attack on Russian helicopters that was located at a base near Mykolaiv. Now, I'm sorry, that was actually near Kherson. So again, that's over in this vicinity. So apparently, this air base right here, also it's the Kherson International Airport, but it also served as a Ukrainian helicopter base. As you can see here, these are Ukrainian helicopters that were based there previously. Now, the Ukrainians are reporting that they launched an attack on this air base, and that resulted in the destruction of anywhere from 20 to 30 Russian helicopters that were on the ground. Now, the issue with this statement coming out of the Ukrainian side is we can't verify if, in fact, those were Ukrainian helicopters that may have actually been destroyed on the ground as well. But again, very, very difficult to verify at this moment. Obviously, we know there were Ukrainian helicopters on the ground at this air base. We don't know how many were moved prior to the Russians seizing control of both Kherson and the air base located to the west of the city as well. So we're kind of watching that very closely and trying to get clarification on what exactly happened in that Ukrainian artillery attack or rocket attack that occurred on that air base. The Russians continue to probe and actively attempt to both envelop and circumvent Mykolaiv and continue a movement towards a bridgehead that would allow them to cross over and directly threaten Odessa at some point. And these operations continue. We continue to see operations near Mariupol. We continue to see large-scale artillery attacks on the city itself as the Russians continue to soften and degrade the Ukrainian forces that continue to resist inside of Mariupol itself. Further information is that also a second Russian general may have been killed on the Kharkiv front. We know quite possibly that one of these generals that was killed, it was the result of some long-distance sniper shooting by the Ukrainian military. We do know the Ukrainian military has acquired Barrett 50 cal sniper rifles. Those act as more of an anti-material type of sniper rifle, but the Ukrainians have become very, very proficient at long-distance shooting. We have received reports from U.S. and NATO partners training the Ukrainians, and the reports that we have received are the Ukrainian, at least the special operations sniper units that exist, have performed at a very, very high level with abilities to hit targets out past 1,000 to at times 2,000 meters, depending on the type of sniper system that they are using. So we have heard reports, again, including The Russians being very wary of both the Javelin and the Stinger systems that have been deployed by the Ukrainians, but there is also the deep concern by the Russians about these long distance snipers that the Ukrainians have deployed also against the Russians, and we believe that at least one of these generals that were KIA'd was in fact taken out by a long distance sniper unit. The second general, we have yet to confirm if in fact he was in fact killed. They belong to the same combined arms army unit operating near Kharkiv and within the vicinity of the eastern area of operations along this broad front. Again, still trying to confirm whether a second general was in fact killed or not, but we're trying to again ascertain if in fact that occurred. But that is what is happening on the ground right now. We anticipate that we should see a uptick in Russian operations, especially both near Kiev and Kharkov. We may see a operational pause within the vicinity of the area of operations to the north of Crimea. I do not anticipate we will see either an amphibious landing or a continued mechanized push towards Odessa as of yet. It may happen in the not too distant future, but I don't believe within the next 24 to 48 hours we will see any sort of amphibious landing near Odessa, nor will we see an active full-on push by Russian ground forces to maneuver towards Odessa from Mykolaiv and areas to the north of Mykolaiv. I think right now the main focus for the Russians is really getting their momentum back in terms of operations near Kharkiv or Kharkov, and also continuing operations near Kiev. And as always, we'll have more videos very, very soon covering this war, and we will do our best to obviously to acquire information and bring videos to you as quick as possible. Have a good day.